So this is the LG smart controller. This controls everything, the heating and cooling and everything like that. 100 other options and devices that you could connect to this and configure to run many other things. It's not just a simple fancy thermostat. This one runs off 24 volts. I have the 24 volts up in that box right there. I have battery backup, power, computer spike and power voltage supply protection, because the last thing you want to do is have a voltage spike take out a $3,000 control panel. And so even if the power goes out, the battery backup is more than enough to keep this on for days. In here we have the humidifier that will be in this airflow that will come out here. And with the airflow, with the air curtain, so this is the air curtain right here, the air flows down and there's actually a wall of air that comes down right here, and when you stand right outside the doorway you feel nothing, you see nothing. If you put paper out there, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. It basically makes a wall that separates dust and debris outside from inside, and it's the heating and cooling. So humidifier, there's two dehumidifiers. There's one up on this corner, and then there's one in the far corner out there and the back corner out there. Of course, we got the easy trays that even when these are filled, all going all the way up, it moves over. Just one finger, so easy. Now there's 6 filter boxes for the 6 air handlers. This is the 8-ton unit. Right off in there you could barely see that's where the 6-ton. Over there's the 6-ton. There's a 6-ton up there. That's another 8-ton air handler unit, and there's another 6-ton right there. Right now I'm putting in for the humidifier. I'm wiring it up. This is not going to be its final case. Unfortunately, the company didn't put a remote sensor. It's going to be on its way. The remote sensor is going to be in here. But right now, just to get it up and operational, I'm going to wire it up right here. And eventually, I'm going to put the humidifier sensor and dehumidifier sensors on the other side of the filters, because the sensors for humidity sensors don't like being exposed to any contaminants. They don't like sulfur, they don't like oil, soap, sprays. So to extend their life, they will be mounted up in here, somewhere on along the wall here, because filters won't affect the humidity, but they will extend the life of the sensor. And as you can see, these are carbon impregnated. And these are MERV 16 filters, and as you know, these are $70 a piece, and throughout this whole, this is several $1,000s in filters. 5-inch thick, MERV 16, and square footage of filter face area is actually under 100 CFM per square foot. The velocity is really low, so they actually do their MERV rating. If you start exceeding their rating of airflow, you will get high static, and they even give you somewhat of a static. I'm going to be below anything they have rated. I'll be down here in the 0.01, 0.04. There's in what do they call it, the initial resistance, the water column. I'll be off this chart. I'll be so low that I won't even be, probably won't even barely be able to read it on a manometer. There's the back of the coil. You could just barely make it out here because this light on my camera is kind of low. And so that's the coil. And so with the MERV 16, this is fairly well a clean room. I probably won't have to maintenance that coil for about a decade. And instead of having me out here every quarter or twice a year, you know, it's maintenance, and maintenance is money. So what I did was I made this maintenance free for them and their service staff. To come out here, these filters, if they treat them the way I told them to and they don't spray anything, they shut off the blowers and everything, these filters should easily go well over a year before having to replace, if not longer. Coil maintenance should be extended out to 5 to 10 years without any maintenance. With filters like this, I've come across coils that are 8 years old, and you could wipe your hands in the pan and on the coils and they come out clean after 8 years. And so that's what having filters like this. All this has to get wiped down and cleaned because this dust accumulated before we put the filters in here. I already cleaned and wiped down and sterilized the duct up in here. Just didn't get this part. These gaps will all get taped and sealed together. These will get, and anything where there's a gap will all get sealed. All this will get sealed up. It'll get tape here and tape on the other side so there's no air gap. There's going to be manometers attached to these units. One on that side of the room, one on the other side of the room. And to read the filter drop pressure across the filters so the customer doesn't unnecessarily change his filters on time intervals unnecessarily. When you have several $1,000s in filters, why do you want to change them when you don't need to? And because they have carbon, if you use ozone to sterilize in between when there's no people around, you could put a high concentration of peroxide molecules or ozone in the room to sterilize, and at the same time it will clean and sterilize and reactivate the carbon and any of the smell molecules or anything in the carbon. It helps extend the life of the carbon when you use ozone. Only when there's no human beings or living products. That's a sterilization project. A sterilization process you go in between cleaning out the room on clean day. And that's here. We're 40 feet by 30 feet, and that's it for now. I'll show you what's up above in more detail when we get there.